Morning, everybody. Good Tuesday morning. So glad that you're up and at 'em and tuned in to Mornings in Meridian, the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi, West Alabama, and of course joining us either on our great 102.1 FM frequency or joining us on our app, which I believe is up and working. If I'm not mistaken, that's WALT. That's just an app that you can put right on your device and listen to our show. So you can go online, stream us in on WALTmeridian.com. And don't forget, of course, there's YouTube and what's that other thing? Facebook. Hey, that's right. You can see the ones in the studio that have beards and the one that does not. If you tune in to Facebook. I'm Roger B. Say hi to Rob Atkinson.
Hello, sir.
You got a little something going there. You got it going on there. And of course, he always has a beard. Say Charles Frazier.
Well, no, I haven't always had one. I mean, wasn't born with
You did with that? Yeah, your mother's thankful.
the adult development. It'd be weird if it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, there's someone beside you, also the bearded one. So
He's male. The bearded one.
yeah,
The bearded
another
one.
bearded one. That's Jeff Tate's in the studio with us.
I shave my beard once every 5 years to remind myself to never shave my beard again.
Like, oh yeah, that's why I broke it.
You just do that, huh? I love it. Well, we're up and running this morning, and of course, lots to talk about. We have Jeff Tate here this morning because there's something of interest that you should know about as a voter in Mississippi, in this area, in this district. So we'll talk about that and much, much more. Plus, we'll take your phone call about whatever happens to be on your mind. We put our number out. It's 601-485-9191. And we also want to thank those who help make this show possible, like the good folks down there at the Magnolia Restaurant, because they're ready to feed you 24 hours a day. You shouldn't eat 24 hours a day. That'd be not very healthy. But anytime you want a meal, they have it cooked up hot down there at the Magnolia Restaurant at the Queen City Truck Stop, exit 150.
That's right. You know where they are. And of course, it's just that easy. All you got a lunch break, you call them, 601-482-0259. And by the time you get up to exit 150, that food is hot and ready to go. It's so much easier than going fast food and much healthier and about 10 times better, maybe 20 times better. I don't even know how to gauge that. Of course, today, Tuesday, we've got fried chicken livers, hamburger steak with onions and gravy, fried chicken, red beans and rice. Can't go wrong with that. And turkey and dressing.
Thanksgiving all year long.
That's right. Yeah, you can be thankful today as well.
Sure.
It's a great day to be thankful.
It is, absolutely.
It's Tuesday. They always got the veggie plates, of course, and the Biggie Burger. How big is it, Rob?
Huge.
It is the humongous hamburger, although Biggie Burger sure sounds better. Go check them out at the Queen City Truck Stop, the Magnolia Restaurant, 601-482-0259, exit 150.
And also, guys, I want to remind our listeners, too, if you want to get one of those big pans of dressing for Thanksgiving, they are taking your orders right now at the Magnolia Restaurant, though. They do that every year for the holidays, so save you a little bit of time in the kitchen.
Tell your family it's homemade.
That's right.
I worked all morning on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there you go. Just an idea for you.
That's a good idea. Very good idea. And according to listener Zena, the app is not working. So I thought it was.
No, we're still working on it.
But somebody was listening on the other day.
It's confusing.
It's confusing. Gotcha. Okay. Well, there you have it. All right. Well, before we go any further, I just want to congratulate Rob on a good job emceeing the Veterans Day program yesterday. Right there. He was on the street right there on 26th Avenue.
And I got to meet the man on the street yesterday.
You got to meet the man on the street.
Your man on the street was there yesterday.
I'm so glad he checked in with you. Hey, something.
It was great. He's like, I thought I recognized that voice. I recognize your voice.
Just thankful for the 3-foot brewery building because it provides shade for those of us who need it. So
you and Jonathan Wells always say,
I noticed
year
Wells
after
standing
year.
over there.
we
needed some shade up there where we were.
It's just kind of a nice place to stand. So we were over there, and I was standing there and met a great patriot. I listened to the show actually, Charlie Hood, family, good patriots serving the country, and so he stood up for his family every time they had when they played the collected. What do you call it?
The medley.
The medley. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. That's why you get the big bucks.
Wait, you get paid.
But he stood up for all of his
Still
family
looking.
members that served in the various branches of service. So.
Yeah, that was great. And of course, I thought the Commodore did a great job yesterday. His speech was great. So it was a good program yesterday. Good parade yesterday. Just a great day all around. So.
As a member of the Mississippi Navy League, I did go up and congratulate Captain Cush for the great delivery he made.
That's right.
And there you go. So anyway, it was a great program. Now I was not able to make the parade. I hope it went well, but I just was not able to get back.
Shine up the Harley and go.
I didn't. There's something called a job that has to sometimes be done, and so we just had to go do that.
I was required to eat at a place called Wyden's at that time. So
Is that right? Yes.
There was a room called the 1870 room. I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard of it, but
I've heard of it. It's upstairs.
It is.
I've always wondered what goes on behind those doors.
Yeah, you'll never know.
1870.
Just say New England clam chowder next time they don't let you in.
That's right.
That's the password.
I'll have to write that one down now. Yeah.
I did see you. The wife and I chose that as our place to lunch after the ceremony.
That's what brought me here. Saw you. I said, next time you invite me on, I'll come on. You
said, come on tomorrow.
Come on tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And I missed both of you, so sorry about that. Anyway,
we didn't miss you though. That's the strange thing about it.
I saw you. Avoided you.
Oh, that's it. No, I see enough of him in the morning.
Not too much.
But no, it was good. And Jeff Tate's going to be talking about something very important that's coming up. I want to remind you about it. But we have a caller on the line, so let's take the phone call. And Jeff, you're not in a big hurry this morning.
No, I'm here. I'm here as long as y'all want.
You're not hauling sheetrock this morning.
My priority is right here today.
You're not hauling sheetrock.
Not today.
You're not hauling any sod.
No, tomorrow will be sheetrock. And
see what?
No, we're good.
Just trying to think what
crawfish.
Oysters. You'll never have to join a gym.
I'm telling you right now, you take everybody in the town of Meridian that sells oysters, combine them, we got them beat.
Wow.
Okay, there you go.
We are the oyster powerhouse of Meridian.
Number one.
If you want to see food, you go to Meridian. That's it.
They're just doing wonderful things down there in Meridian.
I tell you what, they go to the coast and they get these great shipments of shrimp and seafood and all the rest. Yeah, oysters. I can't do that.
Was that Trump? I don't know what it was.
That was
Trump. It's like a sick Trump.
It's somebody
like the mafia. Well, anyway, whatever.
Could be that. Let's go to the phones. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, guys. Love everybody, and there's nothing to do about it.
Not even going to try.
Hey, I didn't know you guys had a guest this morning. I didn't want to hold up this time, but I'll be real quick. Hey, couple things. I would love to meet the man on the street myself, and it's been a week since the election, and I do believe we have the right man in for the job, depending on where America is structured.
Oh, the qualifier. Depending, what do you mean by depending on how America is structured? That's an interesting qualifying statement there, sir.
Right. This is corporate America.
Yeah.
So we got a man that knows corporations, and all that type stuff. But for the Democrat, which I argue with them all the time, the open borders, the wars that's going on, and what's a man or a woman? That was so disheartening not to be able to determine what's a man and a woman. Let men and female locker rooms and male into female sport, and we saw that in the Olympics with the boxing and the swimming. I think they say the guy that was in that sport, he was rated number 60 in the man competition. He changed over to the female, became number 1, and breaking records, setting new records that the females probably never be able to touch again. So it's just not right on that part. So the Democrats got to get something together, and the pendulum has swung back the other way. We just see a fudge swing, But hey, this is corporate of America, and I do believe we had the right man in there for the way it's structured. That's my 2 cents, and I sit back and listen at Mr. Tate.
Now you should be here in Mississippi today, all right?
I am here.
All right.
Mississippi James has landed.
Hey, did you all see what that plane Haiti got hit by a bullet?
Yeah,
Fire?
Spirit Airlines taking fire going into Haiti. It's I think you can get some pretty good deals if you want a vacation in Haiti right now.
Hey, man, they eating the dog, eating the cat.
Oh, no. Eating the cats. They're eating the animals. They're eating the dogs.
Hey, we'll see how far this killer will swing.
All right, sir.
All right, you guys have a good day.
Thanks for the call. Glad you had a safe trip.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Totally forgot about that. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Oh, mercy.
Oh,
yeah, but
man.
the airline
It's
that was
crazy.
diverted. Was,
I was flying into Haiti or
Yeah. Well, now that you mention that, yeah, I think it was approaching.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do they know who was firing?
not that I've seen the report yet, but
Wow, our criminals in Meridian have gone global.
Maybe export them down there. We'll need a few more. We got plenty up here.
Hey, you see the joke, you take it, man.
That's it.
Just go for it.
Apologize later.
That's right.
Exactly right. Jeff Tate, so glad to have you here with us. And of course, you're here because you've been very involved in making sure that people in our district here understand that there is a person running for, the Supreme Court.
Well, I'm here to be with y'all.
Oh, okay.
And then second, we can talk about whatever you want.
A
That's
true politician, if
that's
there
it.
ever was
Yeah.
one.
Oh, no. So we do need to remember that there is a runoff. There's a runoff for Supreme Court, and I'm very excited. And my expectations are high. I expect for Jennifer to win, but we can't take anything for granted.
Exactly.
So election day, I was down at the courthouse answering phones from like 9 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And at 7:30, everything got quiet, and so there's no need for me to be there. And I went to leave. And by the way, we had around just shy of 500 affidavit ballots that were cast election day, which means there were 500 people that were registered in the county but had moved within the county. And so they had to go to their correct precinct to vote. Their vote counted. And what that tells you, that number 500 is a high number. That means there was a large participation. Anyway,
Okay.
as I'm getting ready to leave,
And it also tells you if you move, you've got to go and
That's right.
register to vote.
So as I'm leaving, I go through the lobby of the courthouse, and that's a precinct. It's a voting precinct, very Democrat precinct. So I go to look at the total sheet there, because at every precinct they print out the totals
You're talking about the lobby of the new complex.
of the old courthouse.
The old courthouse.
Still haven't moved.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
I'm gonna guess early spring they'll be moved. Finally,
Get that door. It's the door. Isn't it?
The door's finished. I haven't seen it with my own eyes. I need to go down there.
Yeah, this is spring of 25.
Spring of 25. So
Okay.
I've got to renew my tag. I need to pay my property tax, and I'm gonna go look at that door with my own eyes. That's on my to-do
I want to
list.
go through the door. I mean, that's what I want to do.
Let's go through the
Walk
door.
through and then back
Let's
out.
all go down and go. Let's have our picture taken at the
Picture
door.
of the door.
Let's
Yeah.
do that.
There's two doors. I'm told
Whoa.
now.
Well,
Yeah.
we paid
Crazy
for it.
talk. Right. Two doors.
Two doors
Like a
down.
double-
Two doors
door?
down.
You mean like a
It's
double
only two
door?
doors down. French door, actually, yes.
Well,
So it's kind of three. It's 2.5 Dutch.
We got the Dutch and the
Dutch,
French.
not
multinational.
French.
I'm confused.
You got me. It's Dutch, not French.
We need American doors.
And we're talking about Jennifer Branning, and she's on the monitor. She's got an ad running there.
There
On
she is, right there.
right here in the studio. So
No, under Trump, we had American doors. That's the problem with this Biden administration. We're
right.
getting all these other doors
Yeah.
coming up our
Chinese doors.
borders, fentanyl doors, all that kind of stuff. So
there
Anyway,
you go.
y'all.
Slam the door
But you
shut.
were. I interrupted you when you were saying you were walking through.
yeah, the courthouse lobby saw the print total, and Kamala beat Trump in that precinct
Yeah.
6.5 to 1. So every one vote Trump got, Kamala got
I
6.
think I gotta get a half a vote. I wanted to do a half
You can do the math. Though.
Okay.
It'll
half a vote.
when you don't show your. No, I'm not gonna say that. So
Carry the one.
Yeah.
So then I scanned down to the Supreme Court race. Jennifer only lost by 1 vote to Kitchens.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I see what's happening here. We're about to steamroll him. Lauderdale County showed up. Unfortunately, in other counties that didn't happen.
I see.
A very, very overperforming in Lauderdale County.
And how many counties in this district?
22.
22 counties. And that does that go as far
all the way
west?
to the Delta.
Okay.
It goes
right.
so kind of I-20 is the floor of it. It doesn't
right.
go far south of that.
Okay.
It goes all the way to Warren County, Vicksburg,
Mm-hmm.
and then it shoots north. Oh gosh, I don't know those counties along the Mississippi River, but it goes up the Delta there, and it has Rankin and Madison.
We just call them Benny Thompson counties.
It's Benny Thompson land for sure.
Yeah.
And you have to realize Meridian's own Kenny Griffiths ran against Jim Kitchens 8 years ago, lost by 20,000 votes.
Wow.
Whoa.
So this election, if you look at it, there was around 300,000 people that participated in it. And, you know, what's sad is if you look at the turnout numbers, I feel safe in saying that a third will not turn back for the runoff.
Mm-hmm.
So that means 50,000 votes carries this thing, which is crazy.
Yeah,
that in a position this important, this large, that 50,000 votes to do it. But we need to turn back out in Lauderdale County like we did before. Had she had, you know, Rankin County and Madison County show up the way that Lauderdale County did, we wouldn't have a runoff.
It would have been over.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw those numbers, it's like, okay, if in the Democrat stronghold of a 6.5 to 1 for Kamala, we're tying basically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're gonna sweep this thing. Yeah. And so I called her and I jinxed her. I said, "You've done steamrolled. It's over. Congratulations to me first." But other counties,
Jennifer had just a shade under 13,000 here in Lauderdale County alone, and Kitchens had 4,352. So that's the way the county voted. Of course, you had 5 candidates overall, and a lot of the other vote kind of split among the other.
I was shocked. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Those other 3 got a decent amount of vote, way more than what I thought.
Yeah, Carter got 1,500, so did James, and then Robinson got a little over 1,000. So that kind of split some of the vote there, but still Jennifer did really well here in Lauderdale County.
Now, remind the voters why this choice is important.
This is important because this is our state Supreme Court. You know, whenever we have lawsuits on lawsuits of how procedures are done, this gets carried up through the courts. The highest court in our state is the Supreme Court. Now, the court consists of 9 justices. You have 3 from 3 different districts. We're in the Central District, and Kenny Griffiths ended up winning 4 years ago. He's on the court. These are staggered terms, and so Jennifer is vying for the one that Jim Kitchens has right now. This is an 8-year term. Mr. Kitchens is well into his 80s, which means he'll be close to 90 at the end of this term. Jennifer, though young, we need to remember she has over 2 decades of being an attorney in Philadelphia. And I took Jennifer around to a few places, and one of the places we stopped at was Citizens National Bank. And everybody was like, Jennifer Branning, a face with the name. She's done so many land closings with them.
Oh, I see.
And everybody says the same thing. She runs a tight ship. Like, she's able to turn things over. And so she's not only been an attorney, been a pretty darn successful one at that in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Her family had, and I like those out there because a lot of people know this name, Burge Trucking. That's her dad and her granddad. My own Truck Supply family business, they at one time 10% of their business was through Burge Trucking.
Wow. Wow.
That's good and bad at the same time. But anyway, so she's going for this, and I want to encourage everybody to get out to vote. It's going to be the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. If you're in Lauderdale County, you're in the district. If you're north or to the west, you're in the district. Clark County, Vesper County, listeners from those areas, I'm sorry, I wish I could vote for, but you can't.
Yeah. So the motivation will be, you don't have a presidential ticket, you don't have any statewide other than this. This will be the only person on the. And I know we rub shoulders with a lot of people that we know will show up at the polls, but there's going to be some that are going to say, well, no, they're going to be tempted to say, no, I'm not going to do it.
Well, and that's going to be the challenge with it being the week of the holiday, too. And I think that, folks need to realize this is an 8-year term. That is a long time. And that's how important this decision is coming up here. So,
and do you want somebody on the court that's going to be on a conservative kind of a vein, or do you want the liberal side up there? So you got to decide that. And it's not, and yeah, the vacation, the holiday week, that might be a factor. Remember, there'll be absentee voting available for this runoff as well.
That may be key for this one. So make the effort, folks.
Well spoken. Make the effort. All right. So it's the candidate is Jennifer Branning, and she's going to be coming up runoff there in a week from Tuesday.
2 weeks. 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today. That's right. So this is a Tuesday, isn't it? So there you have it.
First tea on your pill tray.
Yeah. I remember now. The first tea on my pill tray. Now I had a question.
Thankfully, I'm young enough where it took a little bit. I was like, I figured it out, but I didn't immediately.
One question I had, as I put out the Jeff Tate signal during the election, and that is, why did Trump's name get put so far down on the ballot that we had printed here in our?
Here we go.
You've been in the election commission.
You didn't tell me you were going to ask me this question.
I know it. Why was his name so far down the list of all different candidates?
If you look at previous ballots, the Republican and Democrat nominees were always at the top. Okay, in alphabetical order. Okay. That's how it was in 2020 and 2016, 2012. This year, ballot first was released. My phone blew up. What is going on? Not only were they not at the top, there was a lot more wording in the whole thing.
Oh yeah, it's like really.
And when you someone sends you a screenshot of 4 years ago to now, you swipe back and forth, and you're like, whoa. You just really confusing this. I asked the Assistant Secretary of State why they did this. They said, well, the legislature in 2017 changed the law that said this is the way that it should be broken down. I said, wait a minute, y'all went into office in 2020. In 2020, y'all did it the other way. So did you get it wrong then, or you got it wrong now? So we got it. They said, the Assistant Secretary of State said, we got it wrong then. And I said, no, you didn't. So our law in Mississippi states that if any party for president or governor in consecutive elections gets over 12% of the vote, then we as Mississippians will conduct a primary for it. Right now, that's pretty much locked into Republican and Democrat. That's what our laws say.
Yeah.
We can change laws if we need to, but that's what it says. The way I look at it, the way that if we in Mississippi put on a primary for you, then you should have precedent on where you should have
precedence on the ballot.
Yes. So that's and the fact that it was worded it had like double the amount of words that the previous ones did, and that just confusing. And anytime like you have a ballot initiative, the more words you have in there, the more you think, we'll be clarified. No, it just makes things more confusing. So according to the Secretary of State, a law that was dropped back in 2017 is why that happened. Now, I can't find too many other people that agree with that, and it looks like that's something that we need to address. But that's an answer to your question.
Okay, that's good.
Be satisfactory.
No, I mean,
but just know that I went and asked and dug, and that's what we were told.
When Rob brought the sample ballot in the first time, it was like, really? Yeah. What's going on here?
Yeah, I think that immediately, our listeners were kind of like, what the heck is this all about? So, because Trump was fifth down the ballot?
Something like that. Well, in the middle of it.
Of course, you had the Constitution candidate and all the other ones.
But he still wins Mississippi 2-1.
Yeah, it didn't hurt him at all, but make things easier.
Yeah.
And how do we vote? And how do we vote here in Mississippi, folks? With what? Voter ID.
Voter ID.
And y'all see that
map Elon Musk shared? Yeah, where it was all the states that were blue that no photo ID except for 2.
That's the way they like it. That's the way they like it.
If y'all notice, and I know that they weren't close districts, but still we had every race kind of declared. New Hampshire, Alabama, and Mississippi, those are the 3 states that do not have early voting. Yet well before 9 o'clock, every single one of our races, congressional, Senate, president, all called. If I was in the legislature over in Arizona right now, I'd be
I was going to ask, what the heck are they doing in Arizona?
So, and Nevada as well.
What
Arizona?
Yeah, well, because Florida's got the perfect model. I think
Yeah,
they're done.
I mean, they're done. It's such a
All by
big state.
midnight.
Mississippi does great, but it's just like, what is wrong with those two states?
mail-in ballots. That's what's wrong, and not accepting mail-in ballots on election day and accepting them, 10 days out, and having massive mail-in ballots sent out. So let's say I hear the music.
But yeah, you don't have to run, do you? Can you stay
No,
with
no,
us?
I'm here.
All
I'm
right,
good.
let's
Good.
take this break. Let's come back, and then we'll visit more and find out how Jeff Tate plans to fix Arizona.
That's right.
Good morning once again. And of course, it's interesting. We had one report that says our app isn't working for them, and I found out that there's a unique word out there called geofencing. So, Gas Pastor's app is working, Zena's is not. So
It will be working soon, folks.
Yeah, just hang in there. Well, in the meantime, there's something we used to do back in the old days, Rob. What is it?
102.1 FM.
Oh, there you go. Terrestrial radio.
Tune in.
Tune in. That's right. But we appreciate you being out there, whatever form and fashion you are. And just hang in there. We'll get that app up going for everybody here soon. Mornings in Meridian. Roger, Rob. Good morning, Charles.
Yes, good morning.
Jeff Tate's in the house.
Yes, sir.
So glad to have you here. Thanks for taking time to stop by here. Of course, Jeff Tate is state senator for our area, which is district, and I can't even remember the numbers.
33.
Well, they just give them a name like blue district or red district.
I don't want to be the pink.
The pink.
I don't want to be Mr. Pink.
God's
Anyway.
district.
The Chartreuse district, Eric. No, District 33, of course, he's, I think you're my senator. I think I vote for you.
Yes, sir. Still at Russell, right?
I am still at Russell, right? So there you go. All right. That's good. Of
Mr.
course.
Charles, where do you live? I know,
Mhm.
Robbie, you're in.
I can't do it.
Meehan, yeah.
Where do you go vote? How about that? Tell us the precinct
About
in which you
Bonner.
vote.
So you're
Bonner
my,
Hill's
yeah,
for you.
yeah, you're my senator.
All right, well, good. Y'all are good. I knew y'all were good.
We are your constituents.
Yes.
That's right. We're constituents. So we left the of course talking about voting and how Mississippi changed the ballot, the way it looked, the way it read, in the placement of the candidates. But that happened here in the last election, which we're kind of curious about. And you're saying that the Secretary of State's office is saying it relates to a law from back in 2017.
Yes.
So also we were talking about some of these slow count states like Arizona. What in the world?
So, what you had in 2020, you still had some leftover in 2024. So, imagine in Mississippi if we decided, you know what, if you have a driver's license, whether you have registered to vote or not, we're going to automatically register to vote. They did that in states. All right.
Oh, wow.
And they did that without the legislature passing a bill saying to do that. All right. So, right there, the election was rigged in 2020. All right. I just said it. Okay. That happened. All right. Then also, without legislative approval, if you're registered to vote, you automatically get a mail-in ballot. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Wow. Okay.
That's rigging it. Okay. Right there. All right. We got two counts right there. Then we're going to wait 10 business days after the election to stop receiving mail-in ballots. So when you have everybody in the state that has sent a mail-in ballot, you have no idea how many of them are going to come back in or not.
Mhm.
And so, first of all, probably half. Well, when you mass register like that,
Right.
you already have people on the books that are not there, that have moved or passed away, and you can catch them. Okay. So you already have a little bit of inflated poll book. But then when you add everybody that has a driver's license in your state, well, that information isn't always correct. You just overly inflated your poll books right there. So you sent out a ton of ballots to every single one of those individuals. Half of these people are not going to participate, which means you're going to have so many ballots out there that you have to wait. You can't call elections because you've got 200,000 ballots that are pending.
Mhm.
And that's a shame. And so thankfully we had a lawsuit. And this is why voting on Supreme Court be to the National Supreme Court, the big Supreme Court,
U.S.
and
Supreme Court.
the Supreme Court. So starting next year, ballots can no longer be received after election day in Mississippi for federal elections. And so that the states can.
But we
stop.
don't have mail-in ballots in Mississippi.
We don't have mass mail-in ballots like that. We do have mail-in ballots for college kids and for our
Okay.
military.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, so
Yep.
we do have carve-outs. And like with Donna Jill's office, you have a letter from a doctor saying that you're disabled and you can't get outside of the house.
Mhm.
And, we have that in place. So, but we don't. Our numbers are, first of all, our overall absentee numbers are way under 10%.
Mhm.
Okay, and then our mail-in ballots are a fraction of the 10%. So we don't have that here. But in a place like Arizona, in a place 4 years ago like Pennsylvania, you had that. And I mean, look at the numbers of how many people voted 4 years ago to this go round.
It's interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you have the mainstream media. Like you're a lunatic if you want to question the results of the race 4 years ago.
Oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous.
But I mean, they lie to us about everything. They lie to us about every single thing. And then when you see numbers like this, you can't question it. Like that's crazy. But anyway, if I was in Arizona, I know this. There would be bills that say, "Hey, no more mass registration, no more mass mail-in ballots. You have to have a reason, like you're here in Mississippi, to be able to get one." And I would just be embarrassed. Whether I was on the right or the left, I'd be embarrassed. The fact that everybody else is calling this thing, but us in Nevada,
Yeah.
it's a shame.
I got a question on Facebook over here. It says, what if the post office intentionally holds mail-in ballots till after the election?
That's
talking about the mail, the post office post.
Well, I'll tell you, talking about that, I've got a bill that we passed that banned ballot harvesting. Now, if you listen to anything that Trump had to say, Trump, he went on Joe Rogan and he went into this, that, the Republicans need to take advantage of early voting. They need to take advantage of ballot harvesting. They need to take advantage of drop boxes. But where you don't have them, let's keep it that way. Where we can abolish that, let's just get rid of that. And we did that in Mississippi. We banned ballot harvesting for exactly what the Facebook person
And what
asked.
is the true definition of that? Is that a person collecting a ballot other than their own?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's it. So that's simply it. So we know in Hattiesburg, we know this happened. An individual went to a nursing home and tried to intimidate the residents there to vote a certain way, try to manipulate, try to get them to vote a certain way. When they came to a resident that stood strong and did not vote that way, they just simply didn't turn in their ballot. Okay, so the ballot harvesting goes two ways. Not only are they collecting the ones they want,
Ballot
they're
harvesting.
discarding the ones that they do not want.
Ballot dumping. Okay,
Wow.
there you go. There's your. That's got some stink on it.
Seedy underbelly.
Yes. Well, this is a good education for us there, sir. Appreciate you.
Well,
enlightening us.
in 2 years, we passed a lot of good bills with elections that help with this right here, which is we banned ballot harvesting. We banned Zuckerbucks. Zuckerbucks is a term for Mark Zuckerberg and his wife, who started a nonprofit, who went around the nation saying, we're going to help elections. We're going to help elections all across America, blue and red.
Sure.
So
Yay.
they go into states, and they went in Mississippi, and they said, hey, we went to both Republican and Democrat counties.
Sure.
So the Republican county they picked was Wayne County. The massively populated Wayne County, with all those votes down there.
Yeah.
And then the blue county, they decided to pick Hines County. That little bitty county that nobody's there. And so, we were both red and blue. Now, what they ended up doing, and it came to a stop here in Mississippi where they couldn't go this far, but basically they were turning in money to Donna Jill types administrators of the elections and saying, hey, here's this money, but oh, by the way, you need to buy this Dominion voting equipment that's hooked up to the internet if you want this money.
Oh, okay.
So
Glad you stopped that.
yes, sir.
That had fraud all over the place.
Oh, hey, there were election commissioners that are facing felony charges right now. How they not only was it bad money, but they mismanaged the money in illegal ways after that.
Oh goodness. Well, now, to my understanding, is it's not a federal law across the board where you cannot receive ballots after election day. Some states still do that, like Arizona. Or is that across the board of all states? You cannot get ballots, mail-in ballots after election day.
Now with the Supreme Court ruling, which was set to go into effect in November, I believe, 17th.
So that's on a federal level. Every state must comply with that. Okay.
That's good to hear, actually. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Good morning. Good morning. I wanted to ask, I heard this briefly and didn't get all the information. Have you heard of anything about increasing the welfare checks again, doubling them again, and the state legislation? That's what they're going to be after.
Oh, on the federal level?
No, the state level.
No, sir. I haven't heard any talks of doing anything like that.
There was a guy out there talking about doing it. I don't know word represented, but they're talking about doing it. I wanted to ask you also the more money for English speaking classes to help illegals, which is ridiculously passed in with the education bill. Have y'all? Because y'all have said, no, we're not voting anything to help illegals. We're not going to vote for that. You remember that? Are you familiar with it?
Yes, sir. What that was is you had teachers that are stressed. First of all, we need to be able to just not accept them into the classroom, but because of under Biden, we have to take them. And what happens is, and I've talked to these teachers firsthand, this is a major stress level on the teachers that have to take on these students that can't speak English that well, can't speak English at all. And that money was supposed to be to where we could help out with teachers to be able to take that on. It wasn't money.
That benefits the illegal. So, we got to figure out some kind of deal there because the more you benefit them, the more they're going to come. It's just like the welfare. If they double the welfare check, if you do it, if you vote for it, they will come. That's where they go around, see what state gives the most benefits, of course, and that's where they end up. Real quickly, I'll hang up and listen to your answer on this. We hear continuously from the DAs, judges, our police officials about criminals getting off because that's the state law. That's what the law is. That's the punishment from the state. What is going to be done on the state level to do something about crime? If y'all can make these penalties harsher, why hasn't it already been done? Or maybe y'all can't do it, or what if they say a lot, they throw it back on the state because we can only punish them as much as the state will let us. Well, good. Let's get some legislation over there where we, punish them severely. And I'll hang up listening on that. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. So I can say, I can actually get that on two different sides. One, we have increased penalties on a lot of different crimes. At the same time, the appetite in the legislature, and I was one of the few that voted against this, was to try to allow parole eligibility at an earlier state. I'm not for that. Tate Reeves vetoed the first round that we had of that in 2020. We had bills in 2021 and 2022 that did the same thing. I was one of about 8 to 13, depending on, which bill it was that allowed for this parole eligibility to come up earlier. And, their mindset is, well, if they know they can get out earlier, then they'll act better in prison. I just don't have that mindset. That's not me. Unfortunately, I'm not the majority over there, at least in my mind. Y'all may disagree with me on this, but, I do not like that we did not get the murder conviction of the person that I'm going to say murdered Mr. Putnam on Mother's Day, back whatever year that was. But because of his conviction, we passed a bill in Mississippi that's going to allow him to be parole eligible earlier than had we not passed that bill. I did not vote for that. I was one of, again, there's about 8 to 13 of us that, just don't have that mindset. But the rest of the Republicans, along with every Democrat, voted for it, and that's what happened. Now, I can say this.
What's the reasoning? What's the reasoning that the Republicans are voting for this?
If they act better, if they know that they can get out earlier, then they'll act better in prison. I don't have that mindset at all.
I think.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
Well, another question I have is is there any way, because we hear from law enforcement that a lot of the hands get tied as to what we can do locally is because of the threat of lawsuits from big groups like Southern Poverty Law.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way we can do some sort of statewide legislation that would limit what these outside groups could do as far as coming after our municipalities? Like, for example, if we wanted to have we need juvenile detention beds in Mississippi. Clearly, when we need that, we need to go back to punishing people who do break. If they're school age, they need to be held accountable for the crimes they commit. Is there any way that state law can prohibit or limit what these large groups with all this money can do?
We can pass whatever bill we want to pass. If we have liberal judges, then it doesn't matter. So that's why we need to vote in Jennifer Branding, a conservative, to uphold that. Now, it can go up one higher than that, but that's, this is where, Trump's going to have hundreds of judge appointments. And, the bench has been weaponized, and we need Jennifer Branding in there. We need that all across the United States.
All right, 601-485-9191. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey,
Morning.
Senator Tate, you and I have had this discussion before regarding House Bill 585, essentially cutting law enforcement and courts off at the knees.
Right.
And the one issue that I'd love to see addressed is the people who are on Medicaid and are in jail. If they're in jail for longer than 30 days, well, if they're in jail, Medicaid will not pay their medical bills. So what happens, you may have a repeat offender who's gotten 15 or 20 shoplifting charges, and the judge sentences them to 3 months in jail. If they have any medical issues, the taxpayers are being hit twice. First, for paying for them to have Medicaid, and then they have to pay again to pay that person's medical expenses while they're in jail because Medicaid won't pay. Medicaid needs to pay whether they're in jail or not because their financial situation does not change. But my issue is with the taxpayers being hit twice with that. And you have small jurisdictions who can't afford to pay exorbitant Medicare bills. I mean, exorbitant hospital bills because Medicaid won't pay.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is
for bringing that to our
getting released.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're getting released because of the medical cost, whereas Medicaid can pay the bills, and that would be helpful.
Well, if you have someone who otherwise gets Medicaid, if they're not in jail and they get Medicaid, they go to the hospital, Medicaid pays it. If they get arrested and put in jail, and then they have to go to the hospital, Medicaid won't pay it if they're in police custody. Medicaid won't pay it. So then the taxpayers have to put the bill, and they've already put the bill for that person to have Medicaid.
For Medicaid, right?
But they're not paying the bill that Medicaid would have paid the taxpayer. I mean,
Correct.
they're not getting billed twice for the same procedure or whatever it is treatment that they're getting.
Well,
okay.
Right. So if someone goes to the hospital, rather than Medicaid paying, city taxpayers have to pay or whichever jurisdiction, the taxpayers, county or municipality in charge of whoever's jurisdiction they're in, they have to pay the hospital bill because Medicaid won't pay it. Medicaid should pay regardless of the person's geographic location.
We are due for another sit down. It's been a couple of years, hasn't it? We're due for that. We're due for a Friday or Saturday Meridian sit down for a little bit.
That's correct. Just holler at me when you're ready.
With the state being with Medicare, we can take care of that. So yeah, let's sit down and talk.
Okay, you know how to find me. You guys have a great day.
Oh, it's so mysterious.
Oh,
Hey,
know where to
Meet me. Meridian. We're going to have a Meridian sit down. You know how to read.
maybe eat some oysters.
You think you're the oyster queen of Meridian. Let me show you
The oyster queen.
Oyster queen.
Right. Now, how often? That's a very
crazy.
specific issue that does that arise? I mean,
Well, I'm not sure.
a lot of money,
Now I don't know if y'all know who that is, but she's been in city law enforcement for a long time.
So she's watching the funds go.
She's watching there in Meridian. Like you said, it depends on each jurisdiction. Are we talking about Lauderdale County? That's a good Ward Calhoun question. That's a good sheriff down in Clark County question. Or for her, it'd be city of Meridian.
Maybe just arrest healthy people. I don't know. I don't know. Idea.
yeah, there you go. Well, that's the whole point. If they're not healthy, they're being released back into the society, whether they pay their penalty, their debt to society or not. 601-485-9191. Good discussion going on here. And, of course, this show is brought to you in part by our good friend Jeffrey Wilson, who is a good man. He's a good neighbor.
He is a good neighbor. He's all over town. He's involved with every civic group that's available. Insurance agent, because when you have a claim, that's the guy or lady you got to call. But in his case, of course, he's a guy. And here's the deal: when you combine State Farm, home, and auto, you can save an average of $889. Not too shabby. That'll buy you some Christmas swag right there. I'll tell you what. And Jeffrey Wilson's ready to help you stay right in here in Meridian. All you got to do is call him 601-483-8253 or go by and see him at 2401 Highway 39 North. And Jeffrey Wilson is a good neighbor. Khakis.
And that shows you how exact he is, because he could have rounded that up to $890. But no, you were saving an average of $889. He just wanted to make sure that he's down to the dollar.
And 57 cents. It didn't say that, but that's on
That's what they
right.
So he rounded off the cents. I
And
got
some
you.
change.
Mornings in Meridian. Good morning, caller. You have a question for Jeff Tate, who is our guest this morning.
Hey, yes, good morning, guys. And thank you, Senator Tate, for representing us, doing a great job. We appreciate
Thank you,
your
sir.
service.
Oh, great. Is this your brother, your dad? Who's this calling?
A customer at Tate Fireworks, 2 locations at Meridian.
Ooh,
And
hey,
that discount. Well done. I like it.
see, be sure and charge more for advertising. Okay.
Discount. Okay. But, real quick, you guys were talking about the great state of Arizona. There was a lawsuit against the Attorney General that they had like 208 or 218,000 voters that were just, I guess, driver's license. You guys were talking about kind of auto registered. And they wanted to release the list of these people who to confirm if they were citizens or not. And he said no, and they sued, and the court said, yes, you need to release that list so they can confirm if they're citizens or not on December 2nd. So they filed an appeal to that, and they did say, came back and said you need to release it that day. It was just a couple of days prior to the election. So I think those are some of the problems that you run into with that auto enrollment, some driver's license scam there. But what I would like to ask the think tank here on the radio with a local issue, I just got some of my yellow postcards. We have rental properties, and I looked at the first one, and it had gone up by 20%, the real estate taxes. So I put the rest of them down because my blood pressure was already elevated. I understand, you have to pay money, things more expensive to get the services, et cetera, and that's just part of the game. And I'm fine with that. However, I live in the county, and the city taxes are what we're paying, and I have no vote. Do we know what the process is to somehow allow people to pay taxes to be represented and be able to vote if you live in the county, vote in the city if you pay taxes?
This is something that comes up all the time, and I can't point to a single jurisdiction in the United States where you can vote where you don't live. And, you're going to get into a slippery slope well, what if, a George Soros comes in and buys up 1,000 parcels in, does he have 1,000 votes, or you own one? Is that enough to have one, or even if you have 1,000, you have one vote? This is brought up just about every month to me about people who are frustrated about not being able to vote in the city, that own property in the city. And I cannot find where any court would hold up being able to allow someone who doesn't live in a jurisdiction to vote in there. And I'm not opposed to it. And it makes sense that, hey, you're the one that's paying the property tax. You ought to be able to have the one that has the vote. But I just can't find any law that has that.
I've got about 60,000 reasons why we should be able to vote.
Yes, sir.
Especially when they try and pull the shenanigans about this little $20 application fee per property annually. We spoke to the city. Apparently, there's going to be in the new year an open forum. Talk to the council members about that. But
inform me on this? What is this new fee that they have?
Oh, this was a fee. They wanted all the landlords to register their.
I've heard of this. Yes.
Property.
Okay.
Yeah,
they haven't passed this ordinance yet, though, right?
Oh no, they were just trying to. They were pass it. They were just trying to approve it. There was, if you pass something, it makes me seem like you get a vote on it. But this is essentially a money grab by unelected bureaucrats trying to get money for the city. Now, I know the method behind the madness is understandable, where they have a lot of kind of rundown properties where they have issues with the landlords not being being able to be contacted, or the renters or being afraid to contact the landlord because they would be evicted because they're not taking care of their properties in terms of raw sewage, toilets, et cetera. But they wanted to charge. You had to register your properties, and it was a $20 fee per property per year is what was listed right now. In the bill.
You want to be sure and tune in tomorrow. We're going to have a Real Estate Wednesday. We'll be getting an update on that.
Why don't they just discount the taxes by that amount? You register, okay, you get that $20 discount.
There you go.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about. And ultimately, one of the city planners, or he said, so it sounds to me like you have the issue with $20. And I said, yeah, you're right. I pay, for a rental home that we have, $400 for an over 65 couple as a primary resident. That same home is $1,700. and as an investment property, it was $3,200. Now it's about $3,800.
And in addition to all of what you said, the taxes have gone up significantly on those properties this year.
Well, the $3,800 is the new 20% bonus that I'm proud to pay for roads.
Okay,
Right.
gotcha.
But my question to the city is, I'm not getting 800% more services, and so it's the little things that start to get to you. And spoken like a true government employee, well, it's only about $1.50 a month per property. I say, well, it sure is easy to spend other people's money.
Right.
And which adds up for us in our situation,
Hey,
$400 a year. So that's 6 to 8 tanks of gas, or a car note, or a mortgage payment, or what maybe 3 aisles at the grocery store.
Hey, appreciate your call. We do have to get a break in here, but thanks for checking in with us.
Sorry for being long-winded, but I'm pretty sure we fought a war about taxation without representation.
You're right.
So,
We'll talk about it.
I remember that.
Appreciate you.
I remember studying about that. Yeah. All right. You don't have to run, Jeff. We've got to get this break in. We'll be back. Hey, welcome back to Mornings in Meridian for the second hour of the two best hours of local live talk radio. Roger B. here along with Rob Atkinson.
Good morning, sir.
Also, Charles Frazier.
I'm here as well.
Also with us is, of course, local entrepreneur and state senator Jeff Tate.
Howdy.
Thank you for being here, sir.
I'm just amazed here. I'm looking at Mr. Charles's folder. And the point of a folder is to be able to keep all these papers together. But this folder has been used so much that it's not actually together. It's just two separate pieces of paper, which means two extra pieces of paper.
Yeah. It's hanging on.
No, it's not hanging on. They're not hanging on at all. It's completely separated. Front
Just
and back.
just a little paper sandwich.
And so, it's a good folder.
There you have it.
It has been used.
Let's see. Probably about 16 years old, I guess, huh?
Probably about 2
Maybe.
years. Been through the ringer.
Been for the ringer.
Yeah.
Well, it's so good to have you folks out there. Of course, Jeff Tate, thank you for taking time to be here. And I think this is the most time you've had to be able to spend with us, and we appreciate that.
I'm
You're
here.
paying him by the hour.
No, he's a public servant.
Oh,
he's
right.
Yeah, he's doing this gratis. Is that the way to say that? Is that the correct Latin term? That's
Yeah, I guess.
yeah. Or it's Greek or something. Greek to
It's all
me.
Greek.
That's right. So we come away with talking about the election. Of course, it was an interesting week last week, and you were revved up. Of course, there's another election, though, that still has to take place, another voting that has to take an election day. It's called a runoff election that happens from time to time. And remind our listeners about that, if you would.
Yeah, so we had a lot on the ballot. It was a big day, obviously, Tuesday. Great day. At 9 o'clock at night, I remember looking at the TV thinking, why am I wasting my time? I honestly, and I told everybody that I came across that I thought that Trump would win with a few states to spare. And I felt it. I felt the momentum. I felt the fact that it was cool to be for Trump right now. And 4 years ago, it wasn't cool to be for Trump out loud. 8 years ago, it just wasn't cool to be for Trump at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just felt like there was this shift. And I felt that, you had the Elon Musk, the Joe Rogans coming out and being for him. You had, I don't use this term, but they call it the bro vote, which is like this, the younger generation, if they want to be a rebel, then you want to be a Republican now. That's fucking the system. I think that you had your Joe Rogans that saw that the Democrat Party was doing everything they were accusing Trump of. They were accusing him of sending us to wars. They're accusing him of wanting to lock up his political enemies, accusing him of wanting to censor speech. That's everything that they did.
Yeah.
And so I think that, just normal people in the room, sane people in the room could just see this wasn't the pick. And then also you have Kamala, who did not have a primary. You had the absolute worst VP pick that you could ever ask for. And by the way, what did the media do? Nothing but lie and say that J.D. Vance is a weird guy. He's a weird guy. He's weird. I mean, you're going to put tampons in a fourth grade boy's bathroom and you're not weird?
J.D. Vance is the American dream. I'm sorry.
He's the man.
He is the epitome of the American dream. So,
and I can tell you right now that all I did was lie. You had that. You had the fact that that Kamala would not do any of these interviews, would not sit down. I just really felt like,
I think she did go on The View. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, we'll count that.
Did she go
you take all that together, it's like, what the heck is wrong with America if we don't vote for Trump?
Well, she was exposed, obviously, in a lot of different ways, but the Brett Baer interview, I think that's the one that was kind of the nail in the coffin right there, because that was one where she really just got hammered home on a lot of different issues.
Well, and the other interviews that she did where there was like a tough question, never a follow-up, but a tough question. No. And it's like the media knew, okay, she's going to lose. We need to have these sound bites where we can say, because they have to have an excuse. Okay. trust me, this happens every election cycle where Republicans win. Democrats take 1 to 2 weeks to say, well, I guess we're out of touch. We've got to go back. They'll do that for 1 or 2 weeks, and then they go right back to where they are. And so they need an excuse, not a reason for why they lost. And their excuse is no primary, wouldn't get out there and see anybody. Instead of picking Shapiro from Pennsylvania, she picks WALT. I mean, these are going to be the excuses. They're going to have these.
But do you think she picked him, or was that the one put forth to her and she accepted him? I mean, was there somebody else picking him for her? How do you think that went?
I think ultimately it was her decision.
Sure.
But she could have done a lot better. Lying about his military service. And he's just. I mean, look at him.
Yeah.
There's something. I look at his eyes, the way he acts.
Let's get him to load that shotgun.
Yeah, I don't.
They like him. They like him in Minnesota. Let's take a phone call here at Mornings in Meridian, 601-485-9191.
It's like Harris didn't even win his home county where he grew up in Minnesota. Went to Trump. That should tell you how much
There
he's
you go. There you go. It's that old home county, home state thing.
They don't even like him.
Let's take a phone call here. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Was going to meet you actually at Sherry Berry's street naming ceremony, but I started talking to Jennifer, and so by the time I finished talking to her, you had left. And then somebody told me that actually you're not the person that I needed to be talking to be on. One question, please. How do these districts get? Why is Rod part of the district and you are another part of the district? How did that happen?
Yes, ma'am. So the county is split. So every 10 years, we have a census. We have legislative redistricting where there's one person, one vote, and the state split up 52 ways. And so if you look at the way that our little cookie cut districts look, mine is all of Clark County. Basically everything south of I-20, and then when you Lauderdale County, and when you go north of I-20, me and Rod split a good bit of the county, and then also Tyler McConn takes in 2 precincts over in the West Lauderdale area. So we're different districts, but we share the same county.
All right, but are there more African Americans in Hickman's district than yours?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so actually, was it split on racial lines? Is that why it was done?
No, it's split based on where each the population is, and there's going to be areas that are going to be minority majority, and there's going to be areas that are not. And the way that this last split went, it's that's just which area you want. You want to name like a exit ramp after somebody?
No. I was telling you, Jennifer told me that you are not the person I needed to be talking to, that I should be talking to Rod Hickman.
Okay, it's probably because wherever
because we're not. Well, no. I tell you what's going on here. We are going to. We want an interstate sign, the interstate signage here on 59, exit 150, I believe it is, named in honor of Miss Polydor Heidelberg. Miss Heidelberg is Meridian Kennedy Hanker. And so we should have done this. As a matter of fact, even got started on this project about 10 years ago, but then something came up and we kept going, but now it's back on the table. And so we need to follow through on this. But I know that Senator has to present it to the legislature in order for us to get this done. And so I was thinking that you were the person, since I'm in the district, said no, the district has been split. Rod Hickman is the person who has to present it to, that is the legislature in January.
Yes, ma'am. If you look at exit 150, that's the one place south of I-20, which is the airport. The airport's cut out, and that's Rod's district. I can do it. He can do it. It doesn't matter. So if you don't get traction with him, let me know. But all this has to originate from, if it's inside the city limits, which exit 150 is, from the city council, and that's where this started. Was the city council passed a resolution that came to the legislature, and we're able to name a portion of Highway 39 up Sherry Berry. But if you don't get any results from Rod, I'm here. Don't worry. I don't look at district lines. I
Oh, no,
promise.
no, it's been solved now.
Okay, good.
No, Rod is going to do it. No, Rod is going to
So
do it.
this is all
I
about
just-
something that's
I
been
just
solved.
didn't- wait just a minute, please.
No, I'm asking you. This is all about something that's already been resolved.
Wait, excuse me.
No, I'm asking you. You say that you brought up an issue, and I'm just saying it has been resolved.
When I said, no, I didn't, I was asking him, the question was, why was the district divided?
Yes,
That was my
okay.
question. I just wanted
Gotcha.
him to know.
Gotcha.
I just wanted him to know that I was going to appoint him at this meeting. But the main reason why I'm calling, I think you are not aware of the person who has won the Senate race in Arizona, Senator.
Is that still
Senator,
not
I'm
been
asking.
called?
It's been called.
Oh, it's been called.
Hello. Yeah, he's there. The Democrat got that. Gallego got it. Now the other thing.
All right. No, that's fine. We've got another caller coming behind you. You've had a good segment here, Ruth. Thanks for checking in with us. We've got to get another call in. All right, go make it quick then, please. Yes.
Okay. All right. This is the last one.
Please.
All right,
Yes.
what is happening here is that Martin Luther King holiday. federal holiday.
All right. We got somebody else on the line. Bring your radio down, please. Yes.
I don't have the radio.
No, I'm telling the other person on the line that's behind you to turn the radio down. So please continue. Please make it quick.
Okay, all right. So what is happening here is that on the Martin Luther King holiday, the federal one, the state of Mississippi, there are only 3 states that are doing this, and ours is another, have a state holiday honoring the Confederate president that same. And I think what has happened is a lot of states withdrew or were pointing out that this does not seem the right thing to do. They sort of decided, we'll do our holiday on another day, not on King's Day. Alabama, Mississippi, and Arkansas. Those are the 3 states that are left. And I'm hoping, that we don't end up being the only states. Alabama and Arizona and Arkansas leave. I hope we don't end up being Mississippi again, for the years and years and years like this for the flag. So what do you think about?
All right. We're going to let you answer your question, and thank you for the call. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That was the first I've been asked to look at doing anything different. I have no intentions of filing any bills to change anything.
Okay.
Here we are.
All right. There you go. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, y'all. Lefty here.
Lefty here.
Personally, I like the holiday the way it is. Do the white people have any rights?
Whoa.
Well, I mean, it's true.
Whoa.
Well, truth hurts, don't it? Anyway, my question is this, Mr. State, why does Mississippi not have, when a car is sold, why does it not have a paper tag saying when the date that it was sold to, like all the other states do, so the policeman would know, hey, this guy's been here for more than a week. He needs to get a Mississippi tag. But the way it is now, there's nothing that I've seen. And there's a lot of revenue being lost, especially in this county. From what I've seen, you either have an Alabama tag or no tag, or an out-of-state tag that you run for, a year or so, especially all these people from Texas. There's all out of Texas tags in this town. They seem to run Texas tags for a long, long time, a lot longer than a week. But that's just one of my things that I've noticed here over the last 20, 30 years.
Now, anytime that I bought a vehicle with the title, you had to date it and then take it down to get, take that to be able to get your tag. But so you're saying that, right, exactly. So there's nothing that's obligated to.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Usually have
There's
tags
nothing
with
to
date
have
on.
law enforcement say, hey, you've been here longer than a week. Right?
Okay, yes, sir.
Is there any way you could bring that up for
yes, sir, there is.
Or contention or something? Because, like I said, there's a lot of revenue being lost, especially as much as Mississippi tags are. Of course, that's why people keep running the tags that the states they come from, or they just don't buy one at all.
Hey, do me a favor, and whenever I get off the air, find me on Facebook or find someone that if you're not on Facebook, I know you know somebody that's on Facebook. Get a hold of me, get my phone number. Let's chat. Okay. I want to talk to you about it in detail. Okay.
Yeah, because I put that very question to Stanley Shannon and Doris Stidle, and I don't see any changes.
All right.
I know some Russian owners here that's still running Tennessee tags and driving Mercedes.
Charles, you got
No, I got no Mercedes. I got Mercedes.
Charles. Let's go look and see what's on the back of
in 25 years. So. No, thank you.
That's why you park in the parking garage.
Okay.
Now we know.
All right.
Now
Let's
we know
change
why
the
he
subject
backs in.
quickly. All right. Move on.
Move on.
Next call.
All right. Thank you for the call, sir. Appreciate you.
All right. I'm listening. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Thank you for doing that. Listen again thing.
Got some breaking news here, guys. Looks like in the Senate, looks like Tom Cotton is going set to be the Senate Intelligence Committee chairman as of this morning.
Well, he's very intelligent, so that's a good thing.
He's going to move up into that position there in the Senate. So, and also looks like Kristi Noem is going to be the DHS secretary going ahead here. So the cabinet is forming.
They're not really wasting much time, are they?
No.
Is this unusual or is this?
Well, I remember Jeff Sessions. He was named pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I wish I documented this back 8 years ago when this all went down.
Well, this is the staff appointments right now. Susie Wiles, of course, ran his campaign, chief of staff. Representative Mike Waltz will be the White House National Security.
Tim's brother.
God, maybe.
I hope not related.
Notice the theme here. Florida. He's a representative from Florida. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy Stephen Miller. Tom Holman Porterzar. Representative Elise Stefanik from New York. UN Ambassador, Secretary of State from Florida, Marco Rubio. And then Kristi Noem, Governor of South Dakota. So with these positions, governor is going to move into a role. So that's a little unusual.
So in Mississippi, what would happen is if the governor, so this is a very realistic thing that could happen. Senator Cindy Hyde will be asked to join the cabinet, and that Senate seat is open. Then Tate Reeves gets to decide who goes in that position. He could appoint himself. If he did that, that's not, in other words, that wouldn't be first. So it wouldn't be like,
Yeah.
He could appoint himself. Then our Lieutenant Governor, Delbert, automatically becomes governor. Okay. Then he gets to appoint the lieutenant governor. So say he chooses from amongst those statewide, then he gets to choose that position. And you see where these musical chairs are.
Sure.
This really could be a segment of itself as what the heck's going to happen in 2027 because you have a term limited governor and lieutenant governor, and you have a bunch of statewide elected officials that really think they're popular than everybody else.
Now, as far as these representatives here, Stefanik just got reelected, and then you got Waltz there in Florida. So how does that work with the state representatives?
Now, with representatives, that's a special election. There are no appointments to Congress. That's just for the Senate.
Just for the Senate.
And that's where, remember, whenever Obama got elected, that's where the governor was famously saying, you got to pay to play. And that pay to play scandal came out. Blasio, what was his name?
Blagojevich.
Yeah. But you notice the theme here, a lot of Florida mixed in this.
I like it. It's all right.
But Susie's going to do a great job as chief of staff. She ran one hell of a campaign for him. So strong women, Mark Cuban.
Smart.
Strong women, Mark Cuban.
All right. We've got a phone call on the line. Let's take a quick call here. We've got a break coming up, but let's get this call in here. Good morning.
Well, I was a part of it. I wonder why they call those Charles Frazier Rocky Top. I've been wondering about Rocky.
Wow. That's funny.
But,
that's funny.
Real quickly, what's the latest number on our state surplus? Do you have any idea?
No, sir. Don't have that number, but I will dig into that for you because I know that it is there. We still have got it.
All right.
With surplus taxpayers being overtaxed a good year to do that do away with state income tax.
Income tax and grocery tax. I agree with you. 100%.
All right. We'll talk about that on the other side of the break. Stay with us. We have more with Jeff Tate. Here, Sarah Evans on our sister station, 105.7, The Legend.
You know, when that song was big, talent shows everywhere, that was performed more than any song I can remember.
Is that right?
For some reason, that was like the big thing to do at talent shows.
It's just a good, catchy tune. It's a toe tapper there. Oh, man. Suds in the bucket. Glad you're out there tuned in. Roger here along with Rob. Morning. Charles.
Yep.
And Jeff Tate.
Yes, sir.
Senator, District 33 right here in our area. And thank you for taking time to be with us, sir.
Absolutely.
Getting this from listener C.D. Smith says that there's going to be a book signing this afternoon, 5 till 7 p.m.
Ooh.
It's going to be the location of Gene's Restaurant on 22nd Avenue, 820 22nd Avenue. That is, of course, a book written by Bill Crawford, formerly from the Montgomery Institute. He says the name of the book is A Republican's Lament. Mississippi needs good government conservatives.
I got something in the mail that was it was just a one piece like postcard about that. So Gene's After Dark.
Gene's After Dark. Can you do that? Can you do that? Is that legal? 5 to 7 p.m. That's and of course the forward of the book is by Meridian's own Lloyd Gray and C.D. Smith. So there you go. If you'd like to take that in, that's this afternoon, 5 to 7 at Gene's location there on 22nd Avenue.
Thank you, CD.
All right, mornings in Meridian. Again, we just have a good conversation going with Tate.
So
Jeff Tate, not the other Tate, the Tate.
The good Tate. If you like Tate Reeves, I'm the other Tate. If you don't like Tate Reeves, I'm the good Tate. But the last caller, we're up against the break, but talking about surpluses, which we do have, and revenues are starting to come back down. And that's something that I think we need to realize about our economy is that the Democrats printed trillions and trillions of dollars that have not yet circulated into our economy. For instance, there is an $8 million project going down Jimmy Rogers Parkway where the dirt work just started about a month ago. Okay, that's $8 million of printed money that did not exist. Okay, that's still propping up this economy. Once that money ends, I don't know what might happen as far as revenues. But I can tell you this: the House passed income tax elimination. It's never been brought to the Senate floor to vote on. Bring it. See if I won't vote on it. I told Bill Gunn, the speaker, I said, I can tell you right now, your bill gets to me, we'll pass it. Not the first bill, but one of the later bills that he had where we didn't increase the sales tax. But it does sound like the grocery tax, which if you look at Mississippi compared to all other the 49 states, our income tax is lower compared to others.
Yeah.
It's never low enough, if you ask me,
right,
especially for the working man. But if you look at our grocery tax, that is actually higher compared to the other 49. It's very few states that have the same amount of sales tax on just merchandise that they do on groceries. So it looks like that's going to be something that will definitely be tackled this coming up session.
I just have a fundamental objection to being penalized for being productive. Because I mean, you look at the state sales tax, and of course you could say that about federal income tax as well, but only 50% of the population of Mississippi contribute to the sales tax.
Right.
It's like,
to the income tax.
To the income tax.
Right.
Yeah.
We all.
I said that backwards.
That's right.
And I'll do that sometimes. I'll say things backwards. But
so bring me an income tax elimination bill and bet that I won't vote for it.
Okay, so Jeff Tate is on record here at Mornings and Meridian saying he will endorse any bill that well, not any bill, but will eliminate income tax.
There have been bills
state income tax.
Yes, sir. That replace that with the sales tax, and it'd be a sales tax across the board on a lot of different things.
But everybody pays.
Everybody pays.
Yep. That's kind of a nice deal. 601-485-9191. Question for Jeff Tate. Come on. Good morning.
OG.
Hey, I got a question for Tennessee.
All right, bring it.
I'm picking, Charles.
I know.
Don't you have a sister that lives in Memphis?
I lived in Memphis.
He's wearing orange socks.
I'm amazed Lefty, as I've listened to him call in all this time about other things, our police force really don't have time to be chasing down tags. I will say that I am all for the base pilots, students, whatever, that come in for sometimes keeping their home state tag.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm thrilled to death that there are tons of out-of-state tags that come to Mississippi to build things, repair things, fix things, whatever. I'd love for it to all be local. I'm local first. We are a big transient state, with 2 coast-to-coast or border-to-border interstates, railroads, and a major. Our runway could be even more, given the right thing. Anyway, let's catch on that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to address history according to Ruth.
Oh, please don't. Yeah, no.
I'm thrilled about the election, Jeff. I can't believe you didn't stay up to 3 like the rest of us to watch that.
I did stay up till after 1. I did do that, where it was official.
They must have had to haul some sheetrock the next day.
It was good to visit with you at one of our most recent events.
Yes,
and
sir.
hope to do more of that. Outside of that, I want y'all to know that we've had God-given life of rain, so grass should be coming up. That can keep us off.
Y'all are growing grass, and I'm digging it up.
That's right. All right, I'm gonna get out of y'all there. Let another call again.
Hey, appreciate you.
Thank you for that.
I do have some more breaking news this morning. According to thehill.com, Republicans are projected to keep control of the House of Representatives.
There we
It's
go.
going to be a very, very slim majority. Of course, the AP has not called it yet, or any of the other agencies, but thehill.com and Newsmax have jumped on it. It looks like it's going to be just a very razor-thin majority there for the House, and of course Mike Johnson, of course, being the Speaker. That's big news, obviously. But it's amazing how the AP and Fox have not gone that direction as of yet. So just
interesting.
Yeah, just throwing that out there.
There you go. All right, we're going to take a phone call in just a second, but first we're going to talk about one of Jeff's good buddies, and that's Billy Adam Calvert.
Why the laugh?
Billy Adam Calvert and Southern Business Supply.
That's right. Locally family owned and operated for 38 years. And of course, Jeff Tate's one of his great customers. And I am too. I use them all the time. It's just as easy. When I need office supplies, I just go to southernbusinesssupply.com. Point and click, boom, it's there the next day. You can't beat that. I mean, there is no service like that in town. And of course, he's got all kinds of office supplies, janitorial supplies, the big 5-gallon spring water coolers, break room supplies. They've got full lines of office furniture and home office furniture, desk chairs, etc., and more. And of course, they even have an in-house designer. If you don't know which chair or desk to buy, they can assist you with that. All you need to do is go to southernbusinesssupply.com or stop by their wonderful showroom at 5685 Dale Drive. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Give them a call, 601-485-2447. Here's the deal. When you buy local, your money stays here. Don't go anywhere else. And say no to the big box stores and yes to southernbusinesssupply.com.
All righty. Very
My
good.
wife, I only shop on the gift shop side because of his mother. Okay.
There you go.
Also,
they have a great gift shop, all kinds of Christmas stuff there. I mean,
real quick, RFK Jr. Expected to be in the cabinet. If he is appointed to some kind of a health position within the cabinet, he reportedly plans to fire 600 employees at the National Institute of Health.
Heck yeah.
Hey!
Did y'all see that?
Not messing around up there.
Did y'all see that image going around of like RFK being ripped? With that tight, and then the he, she is like outgoing. And
what is that thing?
Yeah, I know.
Love it. Let's take a phone call. Good morning. Welcome to Mornings in Meridian.
Gentlemen, and Charles.
Oh,
wow.
You know me well.
Well, long time, I'll say mid-time listener. First time First time caller, but long time Charles Basher, Lindsay Hall checking in.
Hello, Mr. Hall.
Mr. Hall, are you looking for a job?
We're not hiring.
No, fortunately, no. But if I was, chief bottle washer, Charles had already promised me.
I
Cool.
I
I just had to ask. I just had to ask that question.
floor sweeper around here.
Oh.
And I was going to put in the call to Charles. Fortunately, I had not. But anyway, look, I was calling in. I was going to rave. I was going to say, my first call was, where was Billy? And then lo and behold, you find Jeff. You see the other one coming, and sure enough, you conjure them up. But Mike, I was just going to tell you, look, we're very fortunate. In all seriousness, if you think back, Jeff and Billy had to fill some pretty big shoes. And you guys have been there a long time, and we're just fortunate these guys are here and representing us because they really do. I'm buddies with them, but put that aside, they do one heck of a job representing this area, and they are proactive. I want to tell you, they do a lot of things that a lot of people don't know, and they've done things personally for me, like when my dad died, things like that. When they just they do a lot of things. I'm just telling you. And if you don't appreciate these guys, you ought to. You really ought to.
I appreciate that.
Well, I tell you what.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm telling you, these guys have our best interest in mind when they go over to Jackson.
Well, I tell you what, you speak well there, Lindsay, and I'm so glad that you've got our number in your phone now, and we appreciate that.
Well, look, anytime I enjoy. I'm usually on my way to work at this time, so I'll be the regular. And look, anytime I get a chance to get a little dig in at Charles too, that's always.
I appreciate that.
A great matter of fact, Charles I gave one of our employees, one of our new reporters, that old Weidman's gift card that I had found.
It's no good. We're not honoring that.
Honest to God, it came. It was from a golf tournament about 20 years ago,
Right.
and it had $26 on it. And lo and behold, much to my surprise, it worked. And, we used it the other day.
That's impressive.
Well, obviously, I wasn't there. All right.
So, anyway, guys, enjoy the show.
Hey, thanks for checking in. Lindsay Hall checking in with us. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate
See
you.
ya.
I appreciate that.
The man with the plan. I love it.
Dusted off that gift card. Gave it to somebody else. That's what I like. One day he was found in his wallet. He's like,
I love the
"I'm gonna give
total
it
on that.
something."
$26.
Yeah.
That means it's been used once, right? Is that
Probably. Yeah. Who knows?
It's an odd number.
Partially used.
There you go. It's Mornings in Meridian, of course. We want to say a big thank you to Dr. Toyota for being a sponsor of this show. They are great. They're right up the road in Philadelphia, not very far away. And there's I'll let Charles tell you all about
Well,
it.
not only they're not far away, just in Philadelphia, you just go to your computer and they've got all this stuff listed there. The 2025 Camrys, Tacomas, 4Runners, Sunroof, Highlanders, this is free eye, and of course the Land Cruisers. That's a good-looking vehicle, and they also have a very large, some might say, huge pre-owned inventory, all been through the rigorous Toyota inspection process. So you know you're getting a good quality used vehicle, and their service department second to none.
There you go.
All you need to do is take that short drive up to Philadelphia on Highway 16 West, or go to Toyota.com. They've got all their inventory there, and purchase a vehicle online. How cool is that? And every dealership has a deal. You get an air fryer, you get a $200 check. Who knows what you get? Those things are worthless. You know what you need? A Docs deal, because there is no deal like a Docs deal.
Guys, we must be living in a time warp here.
We are.
Some weird universe. Senator John Fetterman says he is supporting Marco Rubio for Secretary of State.
Well, stroke was the best thing that ever happened. As he's coming out of it, he's getting more and more.
He's a dino.
I just saw this. I was like,
Or is it a
Dino?
Dino? How do you say that? Anyway.
Wow. So there you go. How about that?
Right. I'm going to get a hoodie. I'm a fan.
Marco has pictures on him.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Oh, that's disturbing.
We're so glad you're out there and tuned in. Let's take a phone call. Good night.
Fetterman has done that several times here recently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Switching up to the right little right side. On the right
Mm-hmm.
side.
Yeah, on
Hey, I
Israel, he's
want to know why is Lindsay holding on that thing for 26 years? That must have been
because he's cheap. That's what he does.
Yeah.
No. I feel
If I
bad for him.
forgot to say to start off my first call, Heidi Toddy.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
$26. Ain't no big deal kicking George's rear end. That ain't no big deal.
Nobody.
Hey,
we talked about it.
Name of the book is Lament of a Conservative Republican. I didn't know Crawford you was a conservative Republican.
Well, that's the name of the book is actually entitled "A Republican's Lament."
Yeah, well, maybe there's one in there somewhere. Hey, the cabinet is unbelievable, guys. You know, Crime, Cotton, Rubio. Son, his borders are just to make it tough on the illegal.
Tom Homer.
The guy is going to make it tough. If y'all ever heard him speak, it's going to get tough. And that leads me into my call. You know, a couple of states out west made provision or laws where their local law enforcement could go back to arresting illegal. That would be a great deal for this year because they're going to be holding stations where you can drop them off under this new deportation plan. So Mississippi should get ahead of the curve on that and go ahead and make it where when our law officials run into some of these criminals who are in our country illegal and they're not making them a criminal, they can be arrested and dropped off when they start these deport stations or whatever it's going to be. We'll be ready. We'll be ready for it.
All right, there you go. It's Mornings in Meridian. You too can be part of the show, but we do need to get this break in here.
And Roger, real quick, I just got notice from the engineering folks. App is back up and working. They got it solved, ready to go.
Okay.
Really?
Oh, that's good.
The app is back up and working.
Ask and you shall receive.
All right, there you go, Zana. Our one app user out there. All right. Was that the wrong time to ask Lindsay Hall when he called and asked about the job thing? Was that too soon?
Too soon.
All right.
Hey, if it's there, take it.
That's what you said before, wasn't it?
Might as well.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and finish up with Jeff Tate, our guest for today, and so glad he's been here with us. Yeah. Would love to play more Bob Seger, but we got to get in here and finish up this show. Yep. Roger here along with Rob.
Yes, sir.
Charles, Jeff Tate, thank you for or so that we have here.
One last time, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, we have a runoff election. This is very important. This is a 22 county race that is not in our favor as far as numbers, but thankfully we have a candidate that worked her tail off, that has spent money, has been on this show more than one time, has been to Meridian more than one time, chose Meridian to be the place that she wanted to campaign on election eve. She'll be back. Jennifer Branning's her name, a three-term senator from Neshoba County, conservative, 100% endorse her. If there's anybody that I could trade my voting record with in that Senate, it'd be her. I may be even happy to do that if I did do that. But she's voted great, and we need to remember to turn back out to vote. Lauderdale County, Kemper County, Knoxville County, Neshoba County, Newton County, Scott County, anybody outside of those counties that are listening. I just encourage you to vote Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Jennifer Brand.
Tuesday before Thanksgiving. That's it. Rob, any business we need to clear up before we leave?
Now they were ready to roll.
All right, so we'll be back tomorrow, of course. We look forward to Pickford and Corey coming in. We'll be talking about some real estate. So if you want to now start investing in some real estate, you might want to tune in and hear what's going on tomorrow.
$20.
Yeah, and see where we are. See where we are with that $20 fee. Exactly. But Jeff Tate, thank you again for being here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
And folks, as we always like to say when we leave here, have a great day. God bless and
Buy local.